the second most important fair in Asia. That means we use the brand also to position here. That opens already a certain door. People are interested, curious, because they know Art Stage. And the second thing is, which is surely also identical, we want to use the standards we have in Singapore also here. That means standards of professionality, of seriosity, how to do an art fair, etc. I think in the cultural field, it makes absolutely no sense to copy or to franchise things. We're not McDonald's, who are doing a second McDonald's, a third McDonald's, which is the same hamburgers. I think every fair, if you want to be successful, must have its own identity. And that's also what happens here. You said right, Art Stage Singapore is a big fair. It has around 150 galleries. Here it's more an exclusive boutique event with around 50 galleries. I think we have always to analyze also the market, where we want to start, how we want to position it, where we want to go. And I think to start here, something international, something substantial in Indonesia, it's much more important to focus on quality than on quantity. And that's the reason I say we don't want to start too big. The second thing is, the fair we do here, I think, is a fair which we feel is needed in the ecosystem of Indonesia. You are a country, or you are the country with surely by far the biggest art scene in Southeast Asia. No other country has so many great artists. No other country has so many big collectors. I would say even in entire Asia, you're a country which is among the 2 or 3 top countries regarding that. Where you have your weaknesses, the infrastructure. What you need, that this art becomes more and more also international, that it has the chance to go international, is infrastructure. That means mainly museums, art fairs, etc. You want to have soon a new museum also here in Jakarta, which will be a very, very serious museum, very professional museum, done by Haryanto. And you need also a place, a platform as a market, an art fair, which also has international standards, which gives the galleries to have the chance to position themselves in an international context, where they can learn what it means to do an international art fair. Because at the end, the next step of the Indonesian art with their galleries must be to go out of Indonesia into an international market. And that can then be Singapore or whatever. But I think first we have to do it here. The second thing is, if we want to make Indonesia also a destination to present Indonesia as more and more an international audience, the best place to do it is here in Indonesia. Nowhere else you can experience Indonesia like here. So that's the other thing, why in Indonesia. And if we see these two fairs, I would say it's even a complementary situation. With Art Stage Singapore, we have a more international but also more established older fair, where we really can focus more and open a door into Indonesia. And with Indonesia, we have a fair where we build up an Indonesian infrastructure, build up an Indonesian gallery scene, fair scene, where they can then go outside, and we can, with other words, really play the game for both interests. So with other words, I think both have the name Art Stage, but they're totally different fairs. They are fairs which complement each other, and I think that's the win-win situation. Art Stage Singapore is much more a place which is a real classical fair and marketplace. Here in Indonesia, knowing also the Indonesian art world, knowing many artists, be friend with most of the collectors, knowing a bit also your culture, your character, your mentality, I think it's important to do something which is more than only a marketplace. It should be something which is a place where we exchange goods, that means the art, buy and sell, but where we exchange also ideas, where we meet each other, where we matchmake, where we make contact, where we make friends, etc. And I think that's the other thing which is very, very important for Indonesia. You have a market and an art scene which is very, very strong, but it's somewhere closed. And now we have to bring that in contact with artists from outside, with galleries from outside, with collectors from outside, with media from outside. And that means we need a place where you can meet, where you can exchange. And that's also the reason why we did not only a fair, we did a fair going into a party where people meet, where people can know each other, make friends. We have all the collectors opening their homes, where people can go, where people can again matchmake. And I think that is important. People have to see what Indonesia is and have to know each other. So with other words, you see there are both art stages, but at the end, totally other fairs. This fair here is your fair. In Indonesia, it's the fair, Indonesia's fair. Exemption, it's the classical situation as it is for everybody. Surely there are certain aspects where we have a certain experience how things can go, and we trained that, and our staff trained that also a lot already with the fair in Singapore. That's logical. It's clear whatever we do here, if we start with the building of the stand and everything has really had to have international standard. If we want to make Indonesia a place where people come, where people respect, we have to go on international levels. And I think that's what we do here. I was also a bit nervous, maybe with customer and whatever, things can happen, but everything went very, very, very smooth. Clear, we tried to work also here with professional shippers who have all many years of experience, who know all these customs, to do it really in a very clear and clean way. Surely also we had a lot of discussions with many people who are involved, from politics to whatever, but at the end it goes well. And then it's also a question of a bit organization to avoid that works come from everywhere. We try to canalize it. There's many works, or most of the works, who come from outside Indonesia. We brought them first to Singapore, and then from Singapore we make one focus shippers here, and go out there again to Singapore and away. That's the way how we can control it, and that's the way how that we can avoid also that things happen. And until now, I must say, went perfectly.